I might need you all to, like speak a little, louder. I'll be able to look at the meters and tell
Okay.
when you actually say something.
Okay.
But if not, I get Lamar to come move the mics closer to you, because I'm attempting to make it where you don't have to even put on the headphones. So if you put on the headphones, either way, it's, as long as I can hear you all and you can hear me from where we are, then we should be straight.
Okay.
But it's like if I can't quite hear you, then we have to put the headphones on, because if you can hear directly clear, then I wouldn't have to change the settings over here.
Right.
Okay. So I'm about to change something in just a second, and we'll be on the route.
Okay.
And it's not gonna be very long. I just have some things I wanted to share with y'all, and while we all have this opportunity,
Yeah.
while it's fresh, because
I understand.
yes, indeed. I appreciate you doing it for me. And I want to share with you, when you're doing these things for me, when you do a new one, label it.
Yes, sir.
Like put 1, 2, 3, like something.
Okay. Just capitalize the letters that my parent, the M, E, and the L.
You see there?
Yes, sir.
That is.
Yes, sir. And the crown where it's being cropped a little bit by your screen.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I just about got it now. So the volume, Mom, how you doing?
Hey.
Dad, Pops, how you doing?
Good.
Okay, so I can hear, I see the meters are jumping pretty good. I just wanted to invite y'all here because, I'm your only child together, and I wanted to share my love and appreciation for y'all while I have, while you all have breath in you and while I have breath in me. You know how they say give people their flowers while they're alive.
Yeah.
We've been through a lot of stuff in our lives, and I have to say something to begin with. First of all, I am Source Energy, aka God King of League, showing my parents some love and respect from the gate. I want to show them, that, from my heart how I feel, and I want to make this a documented testimony for my children's 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 children, so that we'll have access to just breaking any spells or any curses that could have been put on our bloodlines, or anything that could have been passed along that we don't know about, that we don't understand based upon how we were given all the information we were given. I just want to will that the ancestors, welcome all of us, back into, into the fold as we came, like in a much more positive and blessed perspective of things. You know what I'm saying? So in that, okay, so I want to share one thing, like that's important to me. very important to me, like in the sense of understanding, you know, God, the universe, the laws of attraction and all that. Before I had any understanding of anything, I have to say that, you know, when you don't have a clue of who God is and your parents are in your life, and that's who God is to you, you know what I'm saying? And for the first, I know 8 to 10 years, my parents were actually together. They ended up divorcing, separating and divorcing when I was 13, 14. But, you know, that's just a whole nother story that I wanted to address as well, just respectfully. In this sense, though, I want to say, you know, the laws of attraction work, because I'm going to tell y'all something, you know, as a human being, as a grown human being, being 54 years old, and knowing how I felt at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, my age, my young ages that I remember very vividly. And the love that my father always had for me, like to start out when I was with him, I was with him all the time. He took me everywhere, he did everything, did everything, showed me so much love that it would be I know how to identify love because my father showed me mad love before they separated. So that was instilled before I was 7, like 8, 10, 12. I knew my father always loved me, even though we had a separation in life. I always knew he loved me, and I wanted to tell you, Pops, you know, all we've been through. I just recently we talked, and it was not even a week ago. You asking still for forgiveness from me, man. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you, like, for the record, for the universe, for the ancestors, because I do all the time. Like you are very much forgiven. I ask you to forgive me for, you know, my, you know, not being clear to understand even more. I know that sounds crazy, maybe to a sense, because father, son, but at the same time, you know, we're responsible. Once we get to a certain point, we have to lose these grudges. You know what I'm saying? I never had no grudge with you after I told you. After we came to our terms, I want you to know that how much I love you and respect you, and I appreciate the love that you showed me, because that was a foundation that made me want to do anything that I do for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything that I do for you, because my parents, they stay with me now. I am grateful to say that I can take care of them. I can do what, you know, I can have them with me, because this is the laws working. I wanted this. Even when they divorced, I'm like, I just want my parents. And they both had relationships that my stepfather, who was really like a father, because he told me to make sure that I get a good relationship with my father. He said that he met my father, he knew my father meant me well, and he wanted me to make sure, no matter what, I got that relationship together. And I respected the man so much, because he actually was an elder to my mom, elder to me, and he just came at the right time, and he took the hate away. He took the anger away from when my father wasn't around and I didn't get the opportunity to see him. And it's not the same in one sense, but I'm grateful because I had something. And if I didn't have nothing, I did a lot. Don't get it twisted. I went through a lot, but I put myself through that. It was way in my 20s when I started getting all kind of stuff going on. So it can't be put on my parents. And I just wanted to say, regardless they separated, I got them back. You know, and that was a wish for me. Like, I was willing that. I used to imagine that one day, I didn't know it was going to be 50 years, 40 years later, but it's all good, because to me, the objective is met. I get to see them in a better relationship than they have been. Like before, they wouldn't communicate, they wasn't going to sit beside each other, they wasn't going to be none of that. You know what I'm saying? But we've grown up spiritually, we've grown past some things, you know, we've really dealt with some personal things that the average family just probably couldn't deal with. But I'm so grateful because my mom and dad here. And I want to say to my mom told me something I remember strong when I was like 4 years old. I think it had to be like 4, because I remember moving fast. I remember, one thing I want to bring up before I say that is thank you again, Pops, because when I was younger, this man saved me. I got electrocuted. I was very, very intrigued by electricity and messing with wires and stuff. I used to see my mom like fix cords on stuff, so I tried it. I cut a radio cord in half and I put it back together, but I didn't tape it. And I left it, you know, on the floor, and I actually fell asleep. In some kind of way, it got wrapped up in my arm. And I was being electrocuted. This man ran in there, he heard me, he separated me from that. But during that time, I had some kind of experience, and I started having imaginary friends. And that's like, you know, that's a whole different thing too. But I never really, people that know me know that, but you know, it's a deep thing. But I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for all the experiences, because as I've grown up, all the things that I thought were bad, that in the time that I didn't spend, I realized that during certain times in your life, I didn't need to be around you. And in certain times of my life, you didn't need to be around me. It's just, that's how the universe works. And I understand that clearly now. And I'm appreciative for all the experiences that we've had together. Like I said, we've grown so much, and so much love is, and then you get to be, I have y'all with the grandchildren, okay? But Mom, this is what I want to say to you. And you know, like I told you, at that 4-year-old thing, used to read to me all fast, and I always asked why. I never took no for an answer, and I'm never going to. I'm grateful because when you told me I could do anything, I set my mind to. That was God speaking to me. That was God is speaking to me. So, you know, so all the experiences after that, I never meant to be rebellious when you moved me down south, and I really didn't fit into the, you know, to all of that. I never meant to cause any issues or anything. It's just that, you know, I'm here now. I understand when you don't match up to some energy, you just have to roll with it. And since I have a family now, it makes me really clear. I understand. So it moves me like to really, really be here with you all. And no, because ever since then, you've always given me the support, even, you know, like the hard body support. Pops, you know, Mom's a trigger finger. We got some experiences. I'm talking about the trigger finger. I gotta tell you, fire. Like I've, you know, been through this stuff, but I'm gonna keep it all the way raw and real because these two right here, this is the epitome of Detroit, Motown. Me growing up in a household where it was real. I never saw no fake stuff. My father never sugarcoated nothing with me, and I'm so grateful because life never sugarcoated nothing with me. My mom never sugarcoated with me. It's just that when we moved down south, she got a little softer in one way and a little harder in another way. And it's just, you know, but I adjust, I understand, and man, it's just so many experiences that I've had now in my life that makes me really respect and understand. I can't hold nobody responsible, you know, because we never got it right. Nobody gave y'all the right blueprint to give to me. Nobody gave your parents the right blueprint to give to you, especially in our culture. I get it. So now, you know, you see what I'm doing. I'm going to make sure that I do exactly that. Share the freedom of thought process and everything. They can do everything they set their mind to. Hey, I'm 12 deep, 11 still in the home, wife and my family and my mother and father. So I feel like this is an honor and a blessing to be here, to even get the opportunity to say this, because I have a lot of relatives, I have a lot of friends. Either one or both of their parents are already gone. I'm 54 years old, and I'm grateful. Mom, you're a soldier, you're a miracle. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're a miracle walking. This woman has never received nothing that they've told her, and she's walking through things that are unimaginable for the average human being. So that's the reason why I know whether or not, you know, I understand we may have a different, collective perception in some ways, but the overall, the clarity is there. Like, I know for me, regardless of what she says, that's a goddess right there. And you don't do things like she has been able to do on, you know, on a spiritual level just with to me, a religion. It's like you have to have a different kind of connection to, regardless of what, you know, anybody says. And she and I we've been through life on me going through the different processes of attempting to find myself and find my course of action in life, because I know that I'm a warrior. I'm here for the spiritual fight. I've been confirmed at this point. And I wanted to make sure that I put it into the ether, and I put it into my parents, that I forgive you both for anything that you think that you've done to harm me. I remember when I got out of prison, my mom was like, she was crying, she was telling me, when I was talking to her, she was acting as if it was her fault. I was like, Mom, I've been out your house for 5 years now. Come on, you couldn't have been responsible for this. This was me, all me. But just the compassionate heart, knowing that I belong there because I put myself there, but it was for the experience of my kings and queens, my young gods and goddesses, that I have to be responsible for influencing in this now. And you all know, anybody who knows this world, this system, and all these different things we go through, nothing is, you know, easy. You have to pay attention to detail. You have to really be on a mission to be, you know, balanced, and everything it's a yin and a yang, it's an up and it's a down, it's a left and it's a right. So it's not going to be like things are not going to be so-called bad. You just got to deal with them how they are, and the more you keep your vibration in a higher space than not, then, you know, we just move. And I've been having to be the example of that to myself, because I have to reinvent myself every time I wake up and give thanks and realize what my responsibilities are, and then I realize how many people love me, man. I got so much love on me, man. I'm destined for this greatness. This whole brand, this whole bloodline is destined. That's the reason why I needed to talk to my parents, because they've been kind of like not forced back together, but the will of the Creator has put us back together to experience. And it's like my children love them, like they got the grandchildren loving all of them. And regardless of what the understanding of anybody is like, it's so much different when you have the elders in the house. Even if you don't agree with everything, I see the importance of it. I would, you know, like, I would really suggest, if you got an elder that you know in your family, take your children to see them and communicate with them, so they could not only give them the energy of that, but give them you let the elder give them some knowledge from the wisdom of just speaking some words. I love you, baby. That's those I love you from an elder coming from someone else is totally different, because the elder's experiences, and depending on how many times that elder been in submission to the Creator, like really on some connecting and not even realizing how connected they are. Because I realize that as I've grown spiritually, and this is no cap on you, Mom, because you know it's never no disrespect, but to me, because I've grown through so many different things, I sometimes didn't realize if you realize how powerful you are, like for real, like because all the things, how humble you are and how you carried yourself, and just, but I get it, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I'm my only child. Like I'm selfish about my mom, but I didn't have to be shut down. I didn't have to be put in my place by people like, yo, man, my bad, your mom's just a good person, man. My mom ain't been around, and I love your mom. I'm like, you know what? How in the hell can I keep her mission off, and I got one? Like, how can I knock hers off? But it's still like I've had a war inside of myself. Like, that's my mama, man. If y'all know, if anybody love their mama like I love my mama, you know you ain't trying to let nobody be close to your mama, especially if you ain't like in the vicinity. And you always are, but you move away and you got niggas tucking up for you. You got God, man. I'll tell you what, I'm just so grateful for this experience right here. And I like I said, I want to take my time out to make sure that I properly, you know, ask you all for forgiveness. Like the stress nights, Mom, all that time I, you know, like that you were worried about me. Now, we've talked about it. Sometimes you were worried about me because of just the extra idea of that's my child. Yeah. Because some things you didn't, once you put those positive spells out, once you put them things out there like that, it was a wrap. The protection has been on. And I know, because I, like, you know, we in hell, and I done rode through hell with gasoline draws on. You know what I'm saying? And I am a fire sign, so that says something, and I survived to this point. So I'm just grateful to say, you know, the influence, you know, that I am and what I command to be is directly off of the love and respect that I've gathered, understanding what you all have had to go through in life. And then, you know, relationships, splitting up, Mom, you know, me and you role split, we've been through a lot, like single, like you're going through, getting put out of places and all kind of things when we were in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? And just different things. And Pops, I remember, like, so much stuff, man. Like, I remember the feeling that my mom had when she woke me up in the middle of the night. We got to go to the hospital because you had been shot. And we didn't know if you was dead or not. Like, you know, but I know that energy, and it's energy. Everything is energy. So I'm saying, if you believe in something, you can get it. Just, you know, understand you have to be a vibrational connection to it. I wasn't at the time I was asking, obviously, because they weren't. You know, all of this stuff had to take place. You know, Pops had to go through whatever he had to go through. Mom had to go through whatever she had to go through. The experiences we still grow. I'm still growing up. I can't, you know, Pops will be 80 on his next birthday, January the 10th. We'll all strength for that. Mom will be 80 on her next birthday, June the 20th. And this is like really a blessing. Like I say, I understand the transition process too, because I don't believe in death anymore. So since I have them physically here with me, I'm putting in all the time I can to connect, you know, spiritually, so that when our transition time comes, we don't have a disconnect. You know what I mean? Because I feel this is my knowing, this is what's been confirmed to me, and I'm just sharing with those who might have had the same experience with a loved one or someone that they're dealing with now. Once you tie in that right love energy when they're present, you never lose contact with it when they become, when the transition happens, because this physical thing is very very like, this is, I just, from my knowing, it seems like I'm tapping into I just understand better. I understand better, and I'm not trying to force no feeling off on nobody else, but I know what it is for me. And it's been clear that all we got to do is open up that love chakra, open up the facts of the love thing in the facts of all people's beliefs. Everybody believes something because it's supposed to be based upon love. This is what the religions are supposed to be, so to say. But for real, let's start loving ourselves so we can love others. And that mirror thing is real because we're all vibrations and reflections of each other. Like, so if you pull up on somebody and they not really cool with you, that's the other side of you that you really is not cool, that you're not cool with. Maybe you should, address that part because it's all energy. I haven't been able to run away from it myself. I ran into many walls attempting to change how the universe works, but now I clearly understand that there's no changing to it. And I just wanted to, again, share my love with y'all. Thank y'all. Ask you for forgiveness for the things that I have done as a young adult, as a child even, because I know that this process, nobody got we didn't have the right blueprint. None of us. I didn't, what y'all gave me, what you gave me, Mom, it's the best I could have had because you told me I could do anything I set my mind to. And I knew my imagination got me everything that I wanted. So once I understood the understanding of really the source energy and the God concept for what it truly is, I understand how I'm connected to the source. I understand what my, abilities are, what my, possibilities are, and it's all on me. It's all on me. And, I'm just going to do the best that I can to influence in front of you all while you're still present. And I just want to tell y'all I love y'all. And Pops, me and we got to talk more. I know you right in the pop spot with me. When I come up there, you like his dude is one of the most understanding dudes. He's like, he understands my schedule, but I really respect talking to you. But every time I talk to you, you give me some jewels. And even if it's short, whatever communication we have is just appreciated because I count this now as now. I don't really do the time thing anymore. Like I really know I don't really, that's a whole different perspective of perspective for me. So I'm grateful for where we are, and I'm just going to be grateful for all the presence that we are. The presence that we have right now in this now. That's what I'm constantly grateful for. I'm grateful for all the experiences before because I've been able to adjust them in my mind to be all good because they got us here. There's a lot of love in our house.
Yes,
there's a lot of love. There's a lot of wealth love in this house, and we're wanting and willing and in the process of sharing as we go. And if you want to say anything, this was more for me to just share with y'all, but I know, Mom, you might have wanted to say something. Perhaps you might even want to say something, but bottom line is I really just needed to, and this won't be the last time. Like I just, I got another recording with you guys, but I'm just saying I want to be able to share what comes to me to you all because it's like in this time, everything that could be remembered or thought about, especially since our memories, none of our memories are like they used to be. So if we can remember things and come up and it's a good feeling, hey, bring it. And if it's something that was awkward and we didn't deal with it or I don't want any low vibrational feelings about anything I think when it comes down to anything that got something to do with y'all. So I've already dispersed all the old stuff. I had anything, and then, as I've grown, I realized I can't put no blame on nobody. I got children that can put blame on me. You know what I'm saying? That could be reversed so many times. That could be, you got one, y'all got one, like here I am, one. Okay, y'all can shut, like, hey man, go somewhere. I got 11 right here in my face. So I can't play no games like that. I'm not gonna force the universe to give me no hand I don't really desire. Yeah. But that was what this was for. It was just a thing.
You must have.
He said it all.
Yeah.
He said it all because that's where it was, something like that. I mean,
well, I just want you to be. I want you to know for real.
The way I was, I don't know.
You ain't got no explaining to do, man. We done already did that. You good. Like that's not what it's not for explanation. It's just for you to understand. I want you to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
That's my desire. My desire, I command you, Pops, to forgive yourself, because I promise you, it's all love here. Like I don't have any feeling of hate or low, any vibration. Look, man, you mean everything to me, Pops. Like, you know, think about it. You've had time to think about it, because we talk about it. You've even told me how you don't even understand how this is, but it's not necessary for you to understand. It's for you to understand and overstand and just realize that, you know, you the God King, you the first God King I ever knew. You know what I'm saying? And the love you showed me was show enough. Hey, look, man. Hey, look, Pops. Hey, if a nigga tell you he gonna do something to you and he close enough, you better do it to him first, or you gonna suffer the consequences. I don't have too many L's, Pops. You know what I'm saying? I don't have too many things that I'm still here. And, you know, I've been in the thickets. I've been in the field with the gunners and the low stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful, because everything you told me, Pops, everything you taught. I know. I've been around you in some of these places. You know, we stomped Detroit. I've been in Detroit with you.
I'll be asking myself now, how am I still here? All the places I used to. I had enough places where I'd be gone from an hour to the next day. I hear that everybody, 2-3 people got killed in that. And I mean, that happened not just one time, 4 or 5 times.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, and I said, I must be something.
Well, you protected, man. Your mama died with a smile on her face.
I remember I was over in these people's house, and we were just over there playing cards and drinking. There were no girls involved or nothing. And I left there. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And as I was leaving out the house, this car pulled up, and 4 guys got out, and they were dressed in the army fatigue stuff. You know, that's when they had that stress thing in Detroit. And they were police officers. And that's what I heard after. And I walked right past them. And I went and got in my car, and I went on home. And the next day, I heard they went in there and killed everybody in there. Killed 3 guys and a woman.
Wow. Well,
you know? And I didn't look at them. I didn't even look them in the face. I just walked past them. And they were walking in. You know.
They came on a mission. They came on a mission, and we, obviously had something going on. I feel like you did, because you're still here and I'm still here, because, man.
That's the only experience I've had like that.
I know you got shot when how old was I, Mom? 3, 4, 5?
You were little.
Yeah, I was a little one. I can remember the energy though.
Mm-hmm.
Just as well as I can remember when, even though I was born when I was born, it's the active, when Martin Luther King was dead, I could feel all that energy as if, and then because they kept it alive, I thought it was a different time. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was really a different time, but I felt like I was there watching everybody when it happened, like the hysteria and all of that. But I think it was because as I was growing up and in Detroit, it was like a holiday every year when they come back around. And it might have been because I was so young and everybody was so active in support. It might have just seemed like that, but because I couldn't figure out, and then consciousness, how pure we are when we're born. I was probably just present in the whole moment, just didn't understand what was going on. But I know the feeling. The energy that I felt from you, the energy that I felt from all of the people that were mourning that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like right after my birthday, and I thought it was a year before. I was told that I thought it was 67, but it was 68, they said. And that was, like a few days. So that's what made more sense to me, why it was so like in me. Then you think 77 all the way through 75, 76 or so. It was like you know, Martin Luther King was very celebrated, and it was very mournful when the energy around the the melanated community was really low when the time came around for them to, you know, on the date of his transition. You know what I'm saying? So I just remember all of that. That's another thing that let me know how this universe works, because that's not the only thing I've attracted from a long run. Like, okay, you know, Mom, we stayed with Cap and Mary, and
Yeah.
when I used to be at work, Mary used to have to basically superintend me. Like, nobody was babysitting me because I wasn't no baby. So she was basically my legal guardian while you weren't there. And she told me, you know, they came out to California, you know, a few years back before Cap had passed, and she was like sitting amongst 11 of the 12 children, and she was like, Lamar, I can't believe it, bro, I can't believe it. Like, you really, really did it. And I'm sitting here looking at her like, what are you talking about? Like, and she was like, dude, you used to tell me every day, almost every day, how you're going to have a big family, you're going to have 11 or 12 children, and this, that, and the other. And then I started thinking about it like, wow, I did say that because I was angry. I was like, you know, lonely at some points, and then I had sometime friends, you know what I'm saying? And one or two, the friends that I really had moved, and we were always moving and stuff like that. And it was just different things that, you know, that affected me, but it made me realize right then, and by that time I'm really into the laws of the universe and everything, and it made me get even more serious about how I am manifesting everything, because I started thinking, you know, when I was going through my thing, I realized there before I understood the laws that I had manifested all of the crap that I had dealt with, because every day I had to review my life, and I saw those things take place, and I saw why they took place, and I had to take responsibility for it. That was source in me, making me come to terms with what I'm prepared for, what I'm being prepared for. Yeah, so
born for.
Yeah, so I'm humbled by it all. But as it is, Pops, I know, man, you done talked about a lot of things that you can't even put on the press, man. You know what I'm saying? That I know we've lived through a lot of things, just the family, just, you know, some of the stuff that you lived through made me realize, okay, that's the reason why I did not fear anything. My mom wouldn't let me fear nothing because I had to be on, you know, she made
Take
me
care of
the man
me.
of the house. Yeah, I had to take care of her, and I had to be the man of the house. The biggest remembering I remember was me getting into a fight with two twins and a cousin, and I beat one of them up at school and had to come home, and they lived like four doors down, and I had to come home and I had to pass them, and they beat me home, and they were like preparing to jump on me, and that's when I experienced fear, I believe, and I was like, because cousin was really bigger, I had already beat up one of them, and the twin brother was out there, so they all three was out there, and I just automatically felt defeat, so I some kind of way ran around these dudes, and I ran home beating on the door, like my mom came to the door like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I told her, these guys, I got into a fight and I beat one of them, She grabbed me and told me, look, nigga, you the man of the house. Your daddy ain't here. Look, you're going to have to fight your own battles. You want to fight them, and you're going to have to fight me. Y'all all children. Handle that. Get out of here. She pushed me off the porch and closed the door. So I know I've been disciplined by my mom, and I don't think these children could whoop me.
I mean, I had to do
it. I don't think my mom can whoop me like these children could. You know, I don't think the children could whoop me like my mom could, so I'm going to take my chances with the children. So I'm going back down there, and I'm really like figuring out, okay, how I'm going to do this. I got to fight, so I'm gonna just go crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go down here, and then as I'm getting close, it's like I summoned a stick, a really big stick to the right side of me that I didn't see running past, and maybe my fear made me not see it, but it showed up at that time. So what I did, as I got close, he's sitting there talking, he don't see I see the stick, he don't see I even looked at the stick, so I get close enough, I grabbed that stick and I whacked the biggest one, he'd go down, then I jumped on the other twin that I didn't fight. The one that I fought, he ran in the house. He ran in the house and got his mom. His mom came back out. She snatched me off of her son and took me down to the house, and because we are neighbors, so she took me down to the house and beating on the door. My mom came to the door like literally, get your hand off my son. Pulled out the 38. Chick double backed off the porch, fell off the porch, and she trying to explain, but at that point is when we became friends. That's when everything settled down, because my mom was like, you should teach your children to fight fair, this, that, and the other. It was just a big thing going back and forth, you know, because in the neighborhoods in Detroit, that we squabbled, but more during that time in the 70s, 80s, like we were like, it was more like we can come to terms. Yeah, we're gonna fight. The family might argue a little bit, but we're gonna get it together because it was really families taking care of families. You couldn't get away with nothing and the neighbor not tell your mama, maybe even whoop you and send you home, and you're gonna get a whooping because you disrespected the name, the blood. So that's really what it is. But that experience, you know, really woke me up, but I really woke me up to fear. I don't have a fear for nothing. I always have I'm on a swivel. I got PTSD when I was a child, you know what I'm saying? So it made me put my head on a swivel, so my life been like that. So I've been 10 steps ahead of things. And, you know, my father's always told me that. Don't let nobody. So my guard has been up in a sense, but it's been up in a different way because I seem like, you know, I've been just blessed to be able to think through things. And I'm just humbled by that because the combination of you two co-creating me is the reason that I'm here, and I want to give you respect upon that because, you know, that's what God does. God creates, co-creates, procreates, you know, and intends. And what I know my mother has intended on my life has been very sincere because she always told me the story about, okay, look, this is the truth about their life. They've had 3-4 miscarriages, okay, not miscarriages, but mom even had a couple of children that actually were able to be in her arms and they didn't make it to the point where when she got pregnant with me, I was the last one. She said that she came home and prayed, laid in a solid position, laid down on the floor with her hands and her face and everything facing the ground and just said, Lord, please, if you give me this child, I give him back. I give him back, please. And that's been the story that I've been told since I've been a child. And it's been impacting in my life because as I go do things, I realize that there's something special in my life. I know that. So when I'm doing certain things, I got to be meticulous. So I've always been, when I decided to get into things that I didn't want my mother, who was the best police or detective that I ever could have crossed paths with, and I knew that I had to be slick enough to get things past her. And so that's the reason why I think I survived in the streets because I didn't. You know, I know how to move. I knew how to move. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful that the protection was on me because it's not just me egotistically saying, yeah, I was the shit and I was all the way live and no, it was the protection on me. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. So that's the part. That's the part. And everything else is like, you know, me doing what I got to do with my seeds and me being the proper example to them and, you know, me making sure that as I do this, it's pure in my heart that, you know, freedom is from their freedom of thinking is what I really desire for them. Like I don't want to hinder anything. I'm not going to hinder anything. Like I said, I command their respect on my life. Like I put everything on the line, and I've asked, and I'm constantly, respectfully, constantly summoning and channeling and asking the ancestors to bless us, to protect us, to guide us on this journey as we go through this process and give us the proper, you know, perspective on things and give us the willingness and the ability to change perspectives when necessary and the strength to know when not to and the strength to stand up to the things that we are supposed to in the sense of create, you know, love and positivity. And I know love is very, very, they call it tough love. Tough love sometimes roughs you up. So all parts of it we understand. I just will that we are the proper, we allow and are the proper example to what is necessary for, you know, the success, especially for my seeds, man. I really, really desire for them to see me doing the best that I can on this earth, in this spectrum of the matrix, in this, whatever this is, I will that they recognize my intention, my, you know, desire and what, you know, it is that I really, really want for them, and that's for them to be free in their thought processes and to know that they are the ones that are creating their own, you know, situation right now. And you can do anything you set your mind to. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. That's facts. So love, peace, and honor, Mom. You know.
I've got a question.
Yeah,
I've got a question. What did you name this?
I named this Source Energy, aka God King Malik, showing my parents' love and respect. And I was going to put on there too and asking for forgiveness, but I was rushing on the title because I wanted to make sure that you understood that this was about.
Oh, we do, and this should be a tribute to my parents, straight from my heart.
All right, that's what I'll make this happen.
This was wonderful.
I'm grateful, Mom. I'm grateful that you know, that you feel my intention on it, because you know, hey, you've been my best fan as well as my best advocate, like adversary too, because you be on my ass. And I know, like it's all the way live. I get it. I respectfully respect it.
I had to, because you raising you was like raising 12.
Hey, look, I know now that fire sign thing, when you used to tell me certain things, now I really understand. When I studied my sign, I studied the time that I came, I studied what I'm supposed to do here.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
What you said? Why?
Yeah.
Well, that's like why.
Right.
Why? That's what I want to know. I want to know why. Now that I know why, I'm just going to command the, you know, for it to show up for all of us in the sense of our love and respect for one another in humanity. And I'm grateful to be here during this time, because I like I said, I got a better understanding of what I should be doing. And
Well, you certainly have been ordained and called. You've been called for what you do.
Thank you.
And I think that you have done it well. God has led you, of course, well, and you've been a good follower.
Thank you. I totally appreciate it. I'm humbled by that, because you know, like I don't know about everybody else, but all I desire for my success, and I'm sure after this meeting right here, things have changed so much better for us.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
in my heart, like I
Definitely.
know that the best thing that I could possibly do for me, my success is my parents seeing me for what I desire, you know, what my true intentions are, and my children to love me and just trust me and see that my intention is to, you know, do the best I can for them. You know what I'm saying? That's and because, you know, Mom, you've been the one that I've wanted to really, you know, like, you know, I guess people say impress, yeah, because you're the first queen I ever knew, your first goddess, so the first woman that's ever meant something to me. So your approval has been a lot, even though I've realized that through time I can't, all of your approval is not necessary. It's just certain things that were very necessary. And I've had to grow through that process. And I'm grateful that we, you know, come to a clear understanding as we grow even more, as we expand more. You know what I'm saying? So all is well. All is truly well. So in the aspect of that, like, yeah, okay, it is a tribute to my parents from my heart, from my soul, from my spirit, my soul, and my heart. You know that.
We love you, and we thank you for loving us after all we've been through.
Hey, look, I'd never be able to turn my back on you all. Yeah, on me, because you all are me. I said that right. I'd never be able to turn, because I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't have no existence without you.
Right.
And I'm grateful for the experiences. I wouldn't change anything, because we wouldn't be here no matter what it was. And I said earlier in the live we did, look, I really get the fact that these experiences are not bad for us. They're really, if you can step back and realize no matter how it comes, if you can, you know, choose the outcome, you can get the outcome. You can totally get the outcome that you desire, you know. But all is well. All is well. Thank you all. Thank you for your time. And I know it is what it is. So blessings be upon everyone who comes across this. I am Source Energy, God King Malik, showing my parents. And this is a tribute to my parents from my heart, from my soul, from my spirit. And I want, you know, everyone to understand that I, you know, am one of the universe's best example of infinite love and power. That is my desire. That is my intention. I command that upon myself. And, you know, respectfully, peace, love, and honor to all that, you know, come within the sound of my voice. Okay.